Rick Chow, the defendant in this case, determined that Cyrus Carmack-Belton's life was worth less than 4 bottles of water.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here for Friends at 5 here on air and also over on WLTX Plus, our streaming platform. I'm Erica Glover. We're going to start off with continuing coverage and another live look right here on your screen inside the courtroom for the Rick Chow murder trial. Rick Chow is charged for the murder of 14-year-old Cyrus Carmack-Belton. Investigators say back in 2023, Chow chased the teenager after suspecting him of shoplifting bottled water. And again, you're taking a live look inside the courtroom as we speak. But investigators say it was later determined that teenager did not shoplift bottled water. Investigators also say Chow fired a shot into the 14-year-old's back, ultimately killing him. Kiki Gushu is joining us after spending the day inside of that courtroom. Listen in.
The Rick Chow murder trial is continuing this afternoon in Richland County with emotional testimony from a woman who witnessed the chase and rushed to help 14-year-old Cyrus Carmack-Belton after the shooting. Jurors heard from Lori Ann Carson, who testified she saw Cyrus running down Springtree Drive while Rick Chow and his son chased after him. Carson told the court she never saw a gun in Cyrus's hands and said he looked scared and in trouble as he ran. She became emotional describing the moments after the shooting, telling jurors she helped clear Cyrus's airways while CPR was being performed. Family members in the courtroom also visibly reacted during her testimony. Earlier today, jurors watched body camera video from the first Richland County Sheriff's deputy to arrive on scene that night. The video showed deputies recovering a gun, a shell casing, and a backpack while investigators secured the scene. Now the defense continues to argue Rick Chow fired to protect his son, focusing on testimony about the gun found at the scene and whether it was ready to fire. The state continues to argue surveillance video shows Cyrus put the water back before leaving that shell station, and that testimony so far does not support claims that he pointed a gun before he was shot. Court is on the afternoon break, and I'll be bringing you more updates this evening.
All right, Kiki, thank you so much for that update there. And earlier today, News 19's Christy Calcagno, she sat down with defense attorney John Mobley to go ahead and provide an in-depth analysis about day one of the trial. Have a listen here.
One thing you also mentioned before we get into the first testimony is needing more emotion than the facts from both sides. Can you elaborate?
I agree, and hey, I like everybody, but I'm not going to pull any punches. I think from the prosecution standpoint, I believe that they kind of dropped the ball on not humanizing the young man. We don't know anything about him. We know he was 14. We don't know where he went to school. We don't know what his hobbies were. We don't know what sports he played, what kind of student he was. He really needed to humanize that young man so the jurors would somehow empathize with him. He needed to bring him to life. On the flip side, I think the defense was a little bit too callous and too insensitive to the fact that a 14-year-old child was shot and killed. I mean, there didn't seem to be any real expression of that this is a tragedy. Your client can be not guilty and this still be a tragedy. And I think I think that where the defense maybe dropped the ball is failing to acknowledge that a young 14-year-old lost his life, and no matter what happens, that is still a tragedy. So correct, I believe those are two areas where they both could have been more sensitive.
And of course, News 19 will continue tracking this entire trial with extensive coverage, including live streaming from inside the courtroom, daily recaps, breaking news updates, and in-depth analysis. We are here to keep you up to date. Download our free News 19 app right now by scanning the QR code right here on your screen on the right-hand side. That way you can watch anytime and anywhere.